It is a historic day at the Democratic National Convention as the roll call of delegates put Hillary Clinton over the top.
That means for the first time, a woman is a major party nominee for President of the United States. Here are Minnesota's delegates.
Cast 47 votes for Bernie Sanders.
Madam Secretary, the great state of Minnesota cast 42 votes for the next President of the United States, Hillary Clinton.
Well, if you follow the numbers, the majority of the Minnesota delegation cast their votes for Bernie Sanders. Esme's following this for us today. So I guess the big question is, do the Bernie Sanders, who were there more of in Minnesota, now fall in line for Hillary and do some work for her?
That is the question, not just for the Minnesota delegates and Minnesota supporters, but supporters of Bernie Sanders across the nation. Now that they have had fresh salt rubbed into their wounds over the leaked DNC emails, will they really get behind Hillary Clinton? The emails show that top DNC officials who are supposed to be neutral worked behind the scenes to advance Hillary Clinton's campaign and even looked at strategies that could hurt Sanders. The Minnesota delegation, as you heard, had 47 delegates who cast their votes for Sanders and 42 who cast their votes for Clinton. Today, the vice chair of the DNC, former Minneapolis Mayor R.T. Ryback, apologized to the Minnesota delegation on behalf of the DNC.
Clearly, an apology is necessary, but not enough. Public trust was violated. And you can't fix that overnight. You can't, throw some fairy dust around, expect everybody to just say everything is wonderful. So the apology is a start of rebuilding trust.
Tonight, the featured speaker is Bill Clinton, and he has an historic and delicate task. He's obviously not just a husband, but a former president, speaking on behalf of his wife, the former Secretary of State. And this really will be a speech like no other. He has to make the case for his wife without overshadowing her, and he will have to do it against the backdrop of his own very public flaws and successes that the American public knows all too well.
He was brilliant about helping Obama.
Absolutely.
During that speech, I still remember that. What's the conventional wisdom? What have you heard, seen about what Clinton is going to say or do? Bill Clinton.
Well, I think what most people think is that he's going to have to give a deeply personal speech going back to her history working with children, going back to her work with the Children's Defense Fund when she was in her mid-20s. But it will be a real balancing act to make sure he doesn't open up areas that will give his wife's critics and his own critics, including, of course, Donald Trump, more ammunition.
It'll be fascinating to see what happens.
Absolutely.
All right, you'll be here?
Absolutely.
Good, we'll see you at 10. Thanks.